for 2.5 years, and I'm starting to see gray hair already. So, it's a long time. So again, thank you for sharing the updates. And as I mentioned, I'm open, this is an open forum, so any particular concerns or questions you have that are happening in your home or your neighborhood, I'm here to answer any questions or share some insight with any upcoming projects. So again, I appreciate you guys being here. For those that joined, I know it's raining, but please feel free if you'd like to ask a question. The floor is open.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I have a question, about the county quiet, bill. How long is the timeline for that, and like, how will it roll out? Is there like certain schools or school levels that'll go to first, or is that?
Yeah, so we've given a lot of that authority to the Department of Education to help and work with the individual school boards to roll out. We've provided them funding, we've given them broad oversight in terms of it either needs to be, we've even given them actually options where it could be hardwired or it can be app-based, so it's on the teacher's phone, or depending on what the district would like to do, it could be on an administrator's phone, it could even be on a student's phone, but I think there's some other concerns around that as well. Or it has to physically be hardwired. So there aren't specific parameters. I think we said it had to be started within a calendar school year. So districts are aware of the law. It's called Alyssa's Law, Alyssa's Alert. It's been implemented here, New Jersey, passed in New York. They're working on it in Texas. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. And honestly, one of the most amazing parts of that legislation was getting to work with Alyssa's mom, Lori Aladef, who's also one of our school board members here, and getting the opportunity to work together on passing such a significant bill. But to answer your question, we've given most of that, other than overarching, hey, you are to do it, and you are to do it within a certain timeline. We've given flexibility to DOE and to the school board, individual school boards themselves. Thank you for the question.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
my question has to do, by the way, I understood what you said about receding hairlines. See the color? Don't run two. In the prior session, you folks passed Senate Bill 4D. You've made some modifications to it in the most recent session. As a member of a condo board for many, many years and an officer of a condo board, we see the impact of that.
Yeah.
There are just 3 associations here. Sunrise Lakes 2, 3, and 4 have about 25,000 residents, and all of us are old geezers. I can say that because I'm old. The problem with that legislation is they compared our 2, 3, and 4-story condos to that tragedy, a 16-story building that fell down. The impact of that, based on information given to us by our attorneys and others who work with the legislature, is our inspection requirements will cost far more than it costs for a 40-year inspection, which was recently done. Certain other requirements in there are adding dramatically to our cost. Mm-hmm. And the biggest problem is we have a lot of folks, and it's primarily ladies, who've outlived their husband and outlived the assets they accumulated. They've got $1,000 a month income, and all of a sudden we're raising their maintenance from $350 a month to $500 a month. Yeah. And there is no question about what the target number is. In 2 or 3 years, it'll be $700 or $800 a month. Mm-hmm. The problem is, in part with that legislation, it doesn't recognize a 3-story building has none of the potential that a 10, 15-story building has. So please,
Sure.
convince all those folks up there, we gotta fix this the right way.
Sure. And look, and sir, and I appreciate the question, and I'll tell you, so we did make a few changes this session. I was hoping we would extend the timeline for that initial inspection, but there wasn't really a willingness in Tallahassee to extend the timeline. What we did do was allow other individuals, other certified individuals to come in and make the inspection, right? Because a lot of the concern was, well, wait a minute, there's not gonna be enough individuals available to do the inspections in this time window. I would have preferred some combination of the two, but what we were able to get through was at least opening it up to other individuals. I forget the name of the title, so it's architects, engineers, and it's the
Yes.
individuals that do the assessment, or, you know, how
The
long it's gonna
reserve
be.
study,
Yes,
so,
the reserve study specialist. Look at you, high five.
Yeah.
Coming in there. So, so we did open the door, I think that will help a little bit, but you're right. And that's why conversations like this are important, because it allows me and it allows my colleagues, who I assure you are hearing the same, to continue to kind of move that needle to be more helpful to folks. Because you're right, at the end of the day, if you're on a fixed income, you're on a fixed
May I
income.
briefly
And
share one thing
it
with you?
scares
Yes.
me.
Broward County's 40-year mandated inspection was a good, solid foundation.
Sure,
For taller buildings, the high-rise,
sure.
it needed some additions. But I can tell you, as the man who was in charge, when we hired engineering people to come and inspect our buildings, there were 93 of them in phase 3.
Sure. Yeah.
We got a good inspection at a price that was affordable. The engineer made money, I'm happy. We didn't have any defects, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
And our owners were safe. But what we would pay for that under the SERS requirements is 5 times the cost. And understandably, engineers, because of the collapse, are going to be
They're not gonna wanna
extremely
sign off.
cautious
Correct.
in their inspection.
Yep.
And the little crack that is normal in concrete will be treated as, get your wallet out for 10 grand.
Yeah.
This really hurts our people.
I hear you. We have more work to do. I neglected to ask both of your names when you stood up to ask your question, so in the future, please do that, but please, well, introduce yourself to everybody.
Jesse, Sue.
Hi, Jesse. And you, sir?
Your name.
Philip Havel.
Philip, good to see you.